We spend so much of our lives chasing this idea of the secret sauce to being happy.
Oh, for sure. It's the big quest.
Right. We buy the books, we listen to the gurus, we're always looking out there for some big answer to, feeling content.
We always assume the answer has to be complicated or expensive or, hidden away on a mountaintop somewhere.
Exactly. But what if the blueprint isn't in some Silicon Valley seminar? What if it's hiding in plain sight, like right inside a totally normal family home?
Well, that's often where the most important stuff actually happens, right? We tend to just gloss over those little daily interactions because, well, they're daily.
They're mundane.
Yeah, but those repeated interactions, that's what builds our whole reality.
So today we're doing a bit of a different deep dive. We're looking at a narrative called The Heart of the Home, Adam's Family Story. And I have to say, on the surface, it reads like a really simple, almost.
Like a school project.
Yeah, a school project. You have Adam, the narrator, introducing his parents, his brother, his sister, his grandma. Very straightforward.
But if you stop there, you've missed the entire point.
Completely. Because when you start to peel it back, this isn't just some story about a guy named Adam. It's like a masterclass in how family dynamics work, a case study in social design.
It really is. We're not just meeting characters here. We're looking at the whole ecosystem of this 6-person house that seems to have found a working, I'd call it an operating system for psychological safety.
A safety net. That's a good way to put it. A safety net of love and support that's built on these really specific roles and rituals and ways of communicating.
And what's so fascinating is the balance. Adam lays out this whole structure that balances tradition with modern life and strict discipline with really high emotional availability.
Which is so hard to do.
It's the needle you're always trying to thread in family psychology. Usually you get one or the other.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have a cast of characters that almost feels like a set of archetypes. You've got the pillars, the parents,
The historian, the grandmother.
the bridge to the modern world, the big brother, and the spark, the little sister.
And Adam, of course. He's our observer. He's the one who's benefiting from this whole system.
So let's start at the top. The father figure, Ahmed.
Ahmed is so interesting. He represents this very specific kind of stability. The text calls him strong, smart, and hardworking. A classic provider. He works in an office.
But that's not what the text leads with, is it? It's not his job title.
Oh, no, it leads with his routine.
The morning coffee.
The morning coffee, exactly. He wakes up early before everybody else.
I love that detail. It seems so small, just a guy having a cup of coffee. But why is that specific habit so important here?
Well, think about it from a kid's point of view. Predictability creates safety. So knowing that the captain of the ship is already up, alert, and setting the pace before all the chaos starts.
Right.
That creates this subconscious feeling of order for the whole house. He's not rushing. He's disciplined. He's grounding the entire environment before his kids are even awake.
That makes so much sense. He anchors the whole house. But this is where it gets really interesting for me, because usually when we hear disciplined father figure, hardworking provider, we kind of imagine someone a bit distant.
The stoic absentee trope, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who comes home, feet up, don't bother me, I'm tired. But Ahmed just flips that script completely. He's described as an active mentor. He's not just bringing home a paycheck. He is sitting down with them, helping with homework, teaching responsibility.
He's in the trenches with them.
Yeah.
And I think the key thing here, what separates him from just being a stern authority figure, is the emotional availability.
That's the part that stood out to me more than anything. Adam says, flat out, when I have a problem, I always talk to my father. And that Ahmed listens carefully.
That phrase, listens carefully, is doing so much work. He's not just hearing the words, he's engaging.
Yeah.
It's active listening. He isn't brushing off a kid's problem as, trivial.
And look at how they bond. It's not all duty and homework. They watch TV, play games, go for walks in the park.
Just walking. No agenda.
Just being present.
That's the definition of quality time. And it turns the father from just an authority figure into a confidant. That dual role is so rare, to be the guy who enforces the rules, but also the person you run to when you're hurt.
And he has this mantra, right? This line that seems to govern the whole house. Family is very important. Love and respect each other always.
The mission statement for the living room. It's their North Star.
Exactly. And when your values are laid out that clearly, it just makes decisions easier for everyone. You know the standard. You don't have to guess.
No ambiguity. Everyone knows the rules of engagement are love and respect.
Okay, so that's the father. Now, the other pillar, the mother, Fatima.
Fatima is described as the heart of operations.
Hmm.
She works at home, handling the classic domestic work, cooking, cleaning.
Right, and I know some people might hear that and just think, okay, traditional gender roles. But the text adds this really critical nuance.
Oh, absolutely. She's not isolated in that work.
No, she's not hidden away in the kitchen while everyone else is relaxing. Adam says, I help her wash the dishes or clean the living room. They cook together. Simple food.
And psychologically, that's huge. It's like the IKEA effect, but for the home. We value what we help build. By getting Adam involved, Fatima isn't just getting chores done.
She's teaching him something.
She's teaching him that running a home is a shared responsibility, not some service he gets from his mother. It turns labor into bonding. The chore becomes a touch point.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Exactly. And, just like Ahmed, she's also a counselor. Adam says she listens to problems and gives advice. The text calls her loving and caring.
She's the emotional thermostat of the house.
So think about the redundancy in the system. It's a concept from engineering, but apply it to parenting. You have two parents who are both providing something, one resources, one management, but they're both providing high-level emotional support.
So they're interchangeable in a way in terms of who do I go to when I'm sad?
That's it. That redundancy is so vital for resilience. If dad's having a bad day, mom is there. If mom's busy, dad is there. The kid is never left without an outlet. There's no single point of failure in their emotional support network.
So that's the leadership. But this is a multi-generational home, which I think is where things get really rich, especially compared to how so many of us live now. We have grandmother Aisha.
Yep, living right there with them.
Yeah.
And the text makes a point to say she's very old, but very kind.
And she's not just a resident. She has a job. Her job is to be the historian.
In a world where everything is moving so fast, new apps, new trends, having a resident historian is incredibly grounding. She holds the family story. She tells them about the past, about her own childhood.
Why is that so important for a kid like Adam? Is it just, entertainment?
Oh, it's so much more. It builds what we call narrative identity, knowing where you come from, that you're part of this longer chain of people who survived and lived. It creates such a deep sense of belonging. It anchors you.
It tells you you're part of a bigger story.
Right? You just can't get that from a video game. And she's also the moral compass. She has her own lesson plan.
Which is?
Manners and wisdom. Her core message is, be kind, be honest, and help others. It's simple, but coming from the matriarch, it just carries a different kind of weight. Parents nag, grandparents bestow wisdom.
That's a great distinction. And there's that ritual he has with her, too. He sits with her to drink tea.
It's just a beautiful image, the youngest generation and the oldest, just sitting with tea. It's a bridge across time. It teaches Adam patience. You can't rush tea with grandma, and it teaches him to value the elderly.
And for her, it gives her purpose.
Totally. It's symbiotic. It fights the loneliness that so often hits the elderly, and it curbs the impatience that hits the youth.
Speaking of bridges, let's talk about the siblings. Because we have Omar, the older brother, and Hannah, the younger sister, and they play completely different roles.
Omar's 25. That's a pretty big age gap. He's an adult with a job.
But he doesn't act like parent number 3. He's not the disciplinarian.
No, and that's key. He's the modern mentor. While Dad is teaching responsibility and Grandma is teaching tradition, Omar is teaching Adam about, the modern world. Computers, games, even English.
He's the translator, the guide to the outside world.
He is. He makes the world accessible.
Good.
And they do peer bonding stuff, riding bikes, playing football. He bridges that gap between the authority of the parents and the playfulness of childhood.
A cool older brother.
Exactly. Someone to look up to who isn't grading your homework.
Yeah.
And then you have Hannah, 10 years old. The spark.
Every house needs a spark.
Absolutely. She's described as cute, smart, and clever. But the most important thing Adam says is, she is funny. She always makes me laugh.
We so often underrate humor as a family survival tool. If you can't laugh, the tension just builds.
It's a tension regulator. Hannah is the release valve. And I love the reciprocity with her. Adam helps her with homework, so he gets to be the big brother. But he also says she teaches him things too.
Learning flows both ways.
That's it. It stops the hierarchy from getting too rigid. It shows that wisdom isn't just top-down. It can come from the 10-year-old. It validates her as a contributor, not just a dependent.
So we've got the people, we get the players, but a team's only as good as its playbook. And this family seems to run on a very specific operating system of rituals.
Rituals are the glue. Without them, you're all just roommates sharing a fridge.
So the daily lunch, the morning.
Well, It's not a grab a granola bar and run kind of morning. Adam describes a communal breakfast.
Eggs, bread, tea. Consistent.
The food isn't really the point. The act is the point. It's a synchronization moment. Before everyone scatters to their own worlds, office, school, shop, they align. They start as a unit.
A psychological check-in.
Right before the world starts making its demands.
Yeah.
And then they bookend the day with the evening debrief.
Yeah. They all come back together, and the main activity isn't just watching TV, it's talking, sharing what happened in their day.
It sounds so basic, but how many families actually do that? Without screens. It's the main way they process stress. If something bad happened, you don't just carry it to bed alone, you offload it.
It's like clearing the cache on your browser.
That's a great analogy. You dump the temporary file so you don't crash, and then weekends are for the reset.
Active leisure. Not just sitting around. They go to the park, run, play football, or they do what you might call social work visiting relatives.
Which reinforces that they aren't an island. They're part of a bigger community. It expands that safety net.
And the holidays, the birthdays, the peak moments.
Peak moments with cake and presents and special food. And we can't forget the photos, the archive.
Right. To remember happy moments.
They're actively curating their family history. They're building a bank of positive memories they can draw on when things get tough. It's proof that happiness exists in their family.
Okay, I want to pivot to the core philosophy here. Because no family is perfect. And Adam is clear about that.
He is. He says, sometimes we have small problems, like everyone.
Which is so refreshing. It's not a fairy tale. So what's the protocol? How do they handle friction?
The mechanism is stated right there. Problems are solved with love and respect. That implies the goal of an argument isn't to win.
The goal is to preserve the relationship.
Exactly. It changes the whole dynamic from me versus you to us versus the problem. And the support system just kicks in. When his brother is tired, Adam asks to help. When his sister is sad, he talks to her.
That's proactive empathy.
Yes, they don't wait for a crisis. They spot the fatigue or the sadness, and they move toward it, not away from it. It's a learned behavior, modeled by the parents.
Which brings us to my favorite idea in this whole thing, the metaphor that ties it all together. Adam calls his family his first teacher and his first school.
It's such a profound metaphor. Because if the home is a school, what's on the curriculum?
Let's lay it out.
Okay, so Dad, Ahmed, is a professor of life skills and responsibility.
Check.
Mom, Fatima, is a professor of care and domestic arts, how to sustain your life and environment. Omar, the brother, is a professor of technology and adaptation, navigating the modern world.
Right.
And Grandma Isha is the professor of ethics and history.
And Adam and Hannah are the students, but also teaching assistants.
Yes. And Adam says the result of this learning together is that life becomes interesting. It makes them stronger. They're not just existing. They're constantly upskilling each other.
So a family isn't just a shelter, it's an incubator.
An incubator for human development. Adam says he feels safe and comfortable. You need that baseline to learn anything. You can't learn if you're in fight or flight mode.
And he says family is his first friend. That's a huge thing to say.
It is. It means before he even goes out into the world, he's already learned how to connect. He's practiced friendship with his own family.
So he already knows how to share, how to listen, how to say sorry.
He has the blueprint. He's not starting from scratch. He's socially literate because he did his homework at the dinner table.
You know, when you read Adam's story, it's so easy to be lulled by how simple the language is. I love my family. We eat eggs. But when you stack all these little bricks...
The mentoring father, the co-creating mother, the wise grandmother.
The rituals, the communication. You see a fortress.
A fortress with open doors. It prepares them to go out into the world, not to hide from it.
Adam ends by saying he's grateful. He says, I know that life is easier with a family full of love.
And that's the ultimate ROI for all this work. Life is hard, but if you have this first home, this first school, life becomes manageable. You've got a buffer.
The difference between facing a storm alone and facing it in a shelter you all built together.
And notice what he's calling for at the end. It's an active practice. Talk to them. Play with them. Learn with them.
It's a verb. Family is a verb.
That's the takeaway. It's something you do, not just something you have. A daily practice.
So they've deconstructed Adam's family. We've seen the roles, the rituals. It's a beautiful picture, but also a challenging one. It requires constant work.
It does. It means showing up for the morning coffee, the evening chat, the weekend walk, even when you're tired.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with that final thought from Adam. He calls his family his first school of love and kindness.
That image really sticks with you.
It does. So here's the question we want you to carry with you. If you look at your own home, whether it's with parents, a partner, roommates, kids, and you imagine it as a school, what is the primary subject being taught there every single day?
Is it a school of stress? A school of distraction? Or is it a school of kindness?
That's the curriculum we write with our actions. Thanks for listening to the deep dive. We'll see you next time.